I wanted to start up my business because I was studying music and I was studying sort of media, and I just didn't really want to be working for people. I had my own ideas and I didn't want to be working on other people's ideas. And I'd had plenty of experience and plenty of time working in the industry, so I felt like I was able to do it, and I felt like I had some good ideas that were ready to go. And so I just, before the end of my final degree, I registered my business so that when I finished I was ready to sort of jump straight into it.
I wanted to start my own business because I wanted to have an influence on the market. I wanted to give people something that they'll like, change their way they act, and I want to be the one that brings around change. If it's just a small change, the way they eat or the way they pick restaurants, as long as it's something that I've created or I was there that inspired the creation, it gives me the kick, so that's why.
I think the prime reason I wanted to start the business then was I just wanted to control my own, my own events, I suppose. Just kind of, I'm quite creative anyway, so I was always coming up with ideas and what have you. And I think I just wanted to be in control of my own actions, I suppose, because it's such a, it's demanding, but it's so fun as well. Because at the end of the day, you say, oh yeah, I've done this, and it's all because of you then. And I think another thing as well, because my dad got ill before I started the business, I think my mentality then was, oh, why not? Just give it a go. So I'm taking it, and I think that's where you've got to be, I think. Just have a go, I think, definitely.
Well, the mentoring support networks are obviously vital and stuff. There just perhaps needs to be a little bit more knowledge of it in school or in higher education. Higher education is better, but I imagine when I was at school there was not even a mention of it, but then that was perhaps 5 or 6 years ago, so it could have been different. But just perhaps a bit of an inception from an earlier age, rather than you have to be an adult before you can even think about starting your own business. I know that the Prince's Trust kind of touches on that a bit, but perhaps from a government incentive, and perhaps even an alternative to A-levels or like what technical colleges, perhaps like specific entrepreneurial courses that set you up with your business there. I would imagine that would help.
In terms of developing the idea, I mean, we had a lot of brainstorm then. I had a few mates as well, so it's all about discussing it with them. But obviously really kind of taking in opinions in terms of your memory lawyers are going to say, oh yeah, that's a great idea. But I think you just more of, I was going to bars, just talking to bar managers, just talking to people in the industry as well. In terms of developing that further then, I decided to look at competitors, what was out there at the moment. So I remember I went into Tesco and into the smoothie aisle, and I just basically bought every brand that was on the shelf.
I think the government can help entrepreneurs by making the environment more failure-friendly. And what we see in the US is if you fail, you're actually ready to go for your next business. In the UK and more in Europe, it's getting more liberal, but it's still conservative, more conservative than the US, and that makes it a lot less likely for people to take on risk. And that's how you spring up entrepreneurship, by allowing people to experiment and having a go. So that's one of the ways I think a government could help.